According to the Incredible Hulk's director, Louis Leterrier, he originally wanted Mark Ruffalo in the role of Bruce Banner, but Marvel insisted on getting Edward Norton because he was more famous. Well, I wonder how much they regretted that decision. So, Edward Norton is a controversial figure in the MCU saga. When he was announced for the part of Bruce Banner, it was already noted that he'd be rewriting Zach Penn's script, although I can't exactly find how much of the script was truly altered. Zach Penn has said the changes ranged from minuscule, like Bruce's hat changing from blue to red, to severe, like changing the moment when Bruce jumps from the helicopter into Harlem, instead of being pushed out by Ross. The point is, Norton is known as a bit of a control freak due to how passionate he is with his projects, and being a Hulk fan, he felt compelled to not only take the task of rewriting the script, but also act as a co-director of sorts, who wanted the final film to be nearly 135 minutes, while the studio wanted a runtime under 2 hours. Word got out, which led to rumors of tensions between Norton and Marvel, to the point where it was said Norton refused to promote the movie. Norton eased concerns and briefly went on a planned promotional tour that avoided the barrage of media interviews so as to not deal with the inevitable questions about the alleged feud. There is a lot to look into when it comes to the Norton vs. Marvel story. It certainly wasn't something that either wanted to get out during the film's release, but as the years went by, with Norton being dropped and the MCU becoming one of the biggest things in the world, it was inevitable for both parties to reveal some of the truth. Actually, when it was announced that Norton wouldn't be returning for the Avengers, President of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, explained, "Our decision is definitely not one based on monetary factors, but instead rooted in the need for an actor who embodies the creativity and collaborative spirit of our other talented cast members. The Avengers demands players who thrive working as a part of an ensemble." Norton's agents responded with a statement that mentioned Feige himself had approached them asking Norton to meet with Whedon, and that presenting the reasons for their parting as anything other than financial was unprofessional, disingenuous, and clearly defamatory. Later, Norton released a statement of his own, saying it just didn't work and that he is grateful to Marvel for extending their offer. In 2019, during an interview with the New York Times, Norton reflected on the film and behind-the-scenes issues in a way that showed appreciation for his time on the project, even if he couldn't fully realize his idea for the character. Well, no, I love the Hulk comics. I believe they were very mythic, and what Chris Nolan had done with Batman was going down a path that I aligned with, long, dark, and serious. If there was ever a thing that I thought had that in it, it was the Hulk. It's literally the Promethean myth. I laid out a two-film thing, the origin and then the idea of Hulk as the conscious dreamer, the guy who can handle the trip, and they were like, that's what we want. As it turned out, that wasn't what they wanted. But I had a great time doing it, and I got on great with Kevin Feige. We had positive discussions about going on with the films, and we looked at the amount of time that would have taken, and I wasn't going to do all that. I honestly would have wanted more money than they would have wanted to pay me, but that's not why I would want to do another Hulk movie anyway. He also had words to say to those who sought after misinterpreted or out of context claims to churn clickbait headlines of the actor ducking on Marvel. It's like, I did Bruce Willis's Comedy Central roast, and I made a joke at my expense. I talked about how I tried to do what Bruce did and make a big movie, but I was an idiot because I tried to make the script better. This is a joke making fun of myself, but it turned into like, Edward takes a dig at Marvel. No, I'm taking a dig at myself at a roast. People have to grow up. So while it seems Norton's feelings toward the project, in hindsight, are positive overall, Marvel has a different tune. In the 2023 book, MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios, it's revealed that Kevin Feige created a no a-hole policy within the studio due to the conflict with Edward Norton. Not only that, but alongside Joss Whedon, Feige refuses to bring Norton back in future projects, effectively banning him from the MCU. This is wild because Feige isn't known to be vocal about issues like this, so Norton must have been a hard case if Feige had no issues calling him out, whether it's in a book or press release, and putting him alongside Joss Whedon is insane. As to who is being honest about what transpired is up for debate. For me, it's difficult to not side with Norton, especially with how Hulk's been portrayed in the MCU recently. All Norton ever talked about was how much he loved the character and wanted to really put everything to the film. As a fan, it's easy to relate to that, and I like the idea of going for a long, dark, and serious film. However, this is where I began to side with the studio, as this was not long after Ang Lee's movie, which was long, dark, and serious. The bad taste that movie left was still strong.
We have a Hulk who is not going to be 3 different sizes in this movie. I think everyone will be very happy about that.
You just can't blame the studio for wanting to not only play it safe, but go for something different. Marvel just wanted to go for a superhero action flick,